Metropolis. Oh well, I messed the intro up. That's not good. We've
Great
been off
start.
for far too long. Welcome to another episode of This Week in Metropolis. I'm Jingle Balls.
And I'm Jack Frosty Nipples. In this week's show, we're going to be talking all things Christmas. That's why we're wearing these stupid hats, although mine is a football-related one, so I'm quite happy. We're going to be talking about our favourite 3 Christmas films. We're going to be talking about our favourite childhood Christmas present. And if we could get each other any present, what would it be? And we've also got a Christmas special question mark.
But don't forget, this little show here is only a small part of what we do online. We post loads of stuff throughout the week. We do reviews. We do lots of different comments and lots of different stuff on all the different platforms. So make sure you are following us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and keep an eye out for what we do there. Most importantly, you can speak to us on there and just reach out and have a chat and share your thoughts on all the different things that we talk about. But first, this.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Metropolis.
Look at that, a Christmas intro as well.
It doesn't get more Christmassy than this.
It's Christmas. Nearly. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you, Matt, but I've found it quite tough getting into the Christmas spirit. It feels like, again, as I'm getting older, it really feels like Christmas just sneaks up on you.
It does. And I'll be completely honest, up until this week, I think it just such an overwhelming experience. Christmas always for me, like I always feel a bit bar humbug that no, obviously this outfit doesn't suggest that, but I do. I'm sort of, oh God, it's Christmas again. Oh God, I've got so much to do and like so much pressure from everywhere in doing stuff. Commercial pressure, and that's it. I do go on a rant about they just want me to buy stuff. And that's
because that's what you're supposed to do, apparently. Can we just point out the Christmas jumper and the whole hats and everything? We've gone all out. I mean, this is not only is my jumper a fire hazard, but for the viewers, it's Santa on a unicorn wielding a sword in space.
In space.
So I mean,
because that happens every Christmas Eve. Like it's a myth that the reindeers are in there. Who wants reindeers? Yeah. Unicorn. Yeah. Done.
Exactly. But before we get started on today's show, we've already had some people in the comments. So there are people here. If you are here, drop us a comment, say hello. We'll give you a shout out and say hello back. Steve from SCW, I know he can't actually be here to watch live tonight, but he has sent us a question. A very quick one, just to throw in. He's got 2 questions, one of which we're going to be talking about to some extent, but I'll answer the first one. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie, in your opinion? We were just discussing this, weren't we, off air?
Yeah. See, I don't necessarily think it's a Christmas movie. It's set at Christmas, so like in a way that sort of makes it a Christmas movie, but apart from the fact that he's traveling to California to see his wife and there's a Christmas party, there's not a lot of Christmas in it. Apart from that, is there?
If you look in any of the lists for top Christmas movies, which I definitely haven't done today, Die Hard is in there.
Yeah,
and might I add, another person who's in the chat has got their own opinion. Shane from Dawn of Comics. Speaking of Dawn of Comics, Matt, product placement. Sorry, Shane, that I couldn't be on the quiz. But cheers. He's mentioned, great to have you back just before the holidays, and Die Hard, hands down the best Christmas movie ever.
There you go. Wow. So that answers it, doesn't it?
There you go.
And can I just say, before we go to Mark's sort of comment, just want to say that sort of Dawn of Comics, for those who don't know, Shane runs an amazing quiz night, which we're privileged to be part of. I recently and Mark recently participated in the sort of Christmas one that we did. James unfortunately couldn't make it, But do check it out. It's an absolute riot. We have loads of fun. And if you're into comics, check out everything Shane does. Certainly.
I was watching it. Sadly, I couldn't be there for the last one as I was a little under the weather with everything going on. You can kind of put two and two together there. But I was watching it today. I was absolutely cracking up. It is such a fun. And the best part was that first section about the glove that you told me about. And there was a picture of a glove. Now, the best thing about that is if I was on that quiz, as I was watching it, I got the first three. So I was quite chuffed with that. But it was just the faces on you
no
guys.
one else
as well.
did. Yeah,
It's just brilliant.
Exactly.
So maybe I'm the unofficial winner. In fact, speaking of winning, I actually won the viewers quiz for last month. Again, a Hulk word smash. Chuffed about that. So my prize and my certificate will be on the way, and I'll have to put that up somewhere in a frame or something because it's probably about as close as I'm going to get to winning. But going back to who's in the room, Mark, as we said, Mark's here, loving those hats, guys.
Thank you,
Mark.
Best thing about this hat as well is you can actually change it to gold if I give it a stroke.
Nice.
It comes up. There you go.
My one feels a bit snug, I won't lie. I think it's a child's hat, but Fiona, who bought it for me, great friend, previous former colleague, kindly bought it for me many moons ago.
And since then, his head has really grown.
It's because I got a massive brain.
That's what it is.
Blue Sonic's in the house. Hey, everyone. Hey, Blue Sonic. Thanks.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining us. And we've got
Andrew.
Andrew's here. Oh, so he's going to be really pleased with my hat, being a Liverpool fan. Not so sure about the other one. Yeah, cheers. Thanks. Shane, how much do I owe you for product placement? We'll
send you an invoice.
We'll send you it. Yeah.
We'll say.
Yeah. My sister-in-law's here, Emma Woodhouse. F. Oh. So, I mean, hello. So she's drunk. She's a heavy drinker. Just keep an eye on her, guys.
Since 8 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, that's what she does. So let's get cracking because no time like the present. We're going to start.
Lots to talk about.
There's loads because me and Matt, we don't talk to each other anymore. So this is all.
We have an hour every week to do so. So
that's it. And what better way to start than talking about our favourite Christmas films? Now, did you instantly know your top three, or did you have to really think hard about it?
No, I instantly knew. Right,
Impressive.
I'm going to pick those three. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you crack on with yours first then. Tell me about yours.
So the first one that I'm going to talk about, which is my third, I put them on in order, I think fits in a bit like Die Hard does. And it's the fact that it's set at Christmas, which is Gremlins. The first
not a Christmas
Gremlins.
film.
But it's set at Christmas. He gets Gizmo as a Christmas present. Like the whole thing is Christmas related. Although it's not, obviously it's sort of a horror movie-ish sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's not strictly Christmas, but I think it's got that festive sort of feel throughout most of it. I would say, and I don't know if you disagree.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I say again, I didn't see it in a list for Christmas films
because it's not.
but it's an all-time classic, and if it came out around that time, then
they do. The Gremlins do carol singing in it. There you go. What more do you want?
100%. You've had some support with this. Mark Hazer said, "I love the Gremlins. I remember my family laughing at it when I was young, but I found it bloody terrifying."
That is the weird thing about this film. Is like I remember. I think I was quite young when I saw it, and I think we may have talked about it on the show.
24.
24, terrified, cried. It was a PG when it came out in 1984 because the ratings were a bit funny then. It was a PG, but like when you watch it now, even though it's a bit kiddie with Gizmo in that, it's still like they microwaving the Gremlins and like they're torn up in like a blender and all this sort of stuff. It's got like the horror movie sort of elements to it, a bit fun. Fun killing.
And do you know what? Do you know what's funny? I've been watching a few Christmas films recently, like classics, with
Yeah.
my kids, and Home Alone 1 and 2 we watched, and now my son absolutely loves it and wants to create booby traps everywhere. So I thought, oh, this is really good. Like, what other decent classics are there on Disney Plus and so forth?
Yeah.
We started watching E.T. Terrified.
That is a really grim film, E.T.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
tough watch, isn't it? And again,
Yeah.
that fits in a, oh, it's a nice kids film, you know, he's friends with the
Yeah.
alien. No, it's harrowing, you know.
Yeah.
Dunno.
Just a quick one. Chris from Off My Shelves is here. Hello, Chris. Nice to see you part of the team again online with us. He's top 3 straight off the bat: Muppets Christmas Carol, Home Alone,
Great film.
Nativity. There you go.
Yeah. The nativity films. Have you ever seen the nativity films?
I feel like I have, but I can't
See,
place
they're
them.
ones definitely to watch with the kids, and they're ones that I've only been introduced to through, like, you know, the kids.
Yeah.
And they're fairly low budget films, but they're so much fun. Like, you know, they're basically most of the there's about 4 of them now. Most of the premise of the films is it's a primary school putting on a nativity play, and there's like a slight twist to it. Martin Freeman's in the first one. He's the teacher. Yeah, and it's the lady who was in Ugly Betty. She's a Scottish actress, blonde hair. Can't remember her name. She's in it. And there's quite a few sort of well-known actors in it. It's well worth.
Gremlins, though, great shout, mate.
Do you want to do your next one first, or shall I run through my?
I'd go through yours, mate. Go through yours, because mine aren't in any real order.
So next on the list is Scrooged, which I don't know whether this is one that you've ever seen or heard of.
It's not. I heard of, because we were actually due to. I was planning to watch it because we were due to go on another podcast to talk about it.
Wasn't we?
But unfortunately, due to the time difference and stuff like that, it wasn't possible.
That's it. Isla in the comments.
Yeah, who's a
friend of mine?
Well, there you go. We've got another
who
friend
has said, and again, her having the kids put similar age to myself has been subject to all nativity films in the past week. Yeah,
I'm going to have to check these out.
Family favourites. They're all on Amazon Prime, I believe, at the moment. So have a look. Scrooged is one of the ones that I think not necessarily I grew up with, but one that I remember that I saw when I was quite young. It came out in '88, so I would have been 10 then. But it's basically a Christmas Carol. So like the story of where you've got the ghosted Christmas present, Christmas past, and so on.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's like this proper cold, cutthroat TV executive, and he's putting on this Christmas thing. And he doesn't care really. Like they're doing this thing and they want antlers on the mice. So he says, "Well, why don't you staple them on the mice?" It's like that sort of thing. So he's proper mean. And throughout the film, he gets basically by the ghosts. He gets shown where he's gone wrong in life. So it's a fairly simple story, but it's quite a dark comedy with it. I watched it in the last week actually to sort of refresh myself on it, and there was only one thing in it that because of its age I thought, oh, that's a bit off the mark. There's a bit where he's sort of hallucinating and he is in a restaurant and this waiter is on fire. Like he can see this waiter's on fire, but no one else can. And he throws a bucket of water over the waiter, and immediately you've seen the waiter's not on fire. But he goes to the waiter. "I'm sorry, I thought you was Richard Pryor." And I don't know whether you know the story about Richard Pryor.
I do, yeah.
But yeah, so like when Richard Pryor, for anyone who doesn't, when Richard Pryor was deep in the darkest depths of his like drug addictions, he covered himself in rum and set fire to himself, basically. So yeah, there was only that joke in there. I thought, oh god, that's a bit rough, but
yeah,
hilarious. Other than that, it's hilarious. You should definitely watch it because it's a really good film. Not necessarily for the kids because it's a bit more adult.
Yeah. Well, Shane from Dawn of Comics has said he loves Scrooge. Isla said this Scrooge movie is one of my all-time favourites. Chris from Off My Shelves has said the Commando-style Santa at the start of Scrooge is amazing.
Which is hilarious, which has Lee Majors in it, which Lee Majors was in The Fall Guy, if you remember that many years ago.
Yeah.
And there's this whole sort of commando, sort of Lee Majors comes in, there's machine guns, and they're like him and Santa are taking out these like vigilante types. Amazing. Yeah.
Blue Sonic as well. I love this movie. Bill Murray is so funny in this. Me and the missus watch this every year. I'm going to have to watch it again. I mean, this
There you
is,
go.
if anything, this
Good
is like an
choice.
education for me. That's 2 films now that I'm going to have to watch. Well, saying that, Gremlins I've seen, but
Probably not for years. So
yeah, but
coming,
go on, mate.
I was going to say, coming to my number one is one that's fairly obvious and everyone's mentioned it pretty much so far, which is Home Alone.
And I'm so pleased I didn't pick it. And I've watched that in the last week, and it's just, 1 and 2 are just brilliant.
Yeah, I saw that in the cinema, and I remember it was this thing where I think I knew nothing about it, and I think we got like tickets through the newspaper or something, and went to see it, and just blew my mind being young watching it. But it's just that whole, I don't know, it's just got the magic of a Christmas film to it, you know, the story, the setting, the whole sort of mood for it. I think it's one of those classic bits of cinema, really.
I mean, after watching the second one though, there's got to be some question marks over the parenting.
Well, exactly. There is that though.
Why are social services not getting involved? Why did it get that far?
The first time is bad enough, but doing it twice, you know, just leave him in an airport, put him on a different plane. Yeah. Come on.
I mean, well, the second one slightly more Kevin's fault because he follows the wrong person in the wrong jacket.
True.
At the airport. So I'm gonna play a little bit of sympathy for the parent there. However, you got to be doing a head count.
Yeah.
Also, why have they got so many children?
Well, and there's that too. Yeah. Unnecessary amount of children, isn't it?
Yeah.
There needs to have been sterilisation at some point in that house.
But since then, there's obviously been 3, 4, 5.
Oh, there's too many now.
What's the most recent one? I'm sure we talked about in the last episode, didn't we?
Yeah, one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. But as Shane's commented there, you know, he said the nail in the foot turns his stomach every time he sees it, and it's true. Like some of the things in that film, which you love as a kid as well, like it's slapstick violence, but like the iron on the face was always one for me, where like it sizzles and you can see like the burn mark on his forehead and that. Oh my God, it's awful.
Well, I was thinking this when my 5-year-old's then saying, "Come on, we need to set up some booby traps." I'm thinking, don't you dare get any idea. Like when we watched the second one, there's a bit where he's on the roof of where he's staying, lobbing them bricks, and I mean, the chances that everyone's going to hit him in the head.
Daddy, let me throw a brick at you.
But he's got like all the brick marks you see, and you're just like, oh Jesus Christ! Like, do not get any ideas.
No.
But absolute classic. You're right, and also Isla said they're the tarantula scene as well. Yeah, they're all just absolute classics. And we've also got Andrew said there as well, National Lampoons, which I did think about because I mean there's so many classics for them.
Yeah, I absolutely love that film as well. I watched that I think last year, and thoroughly enjoyed it too. But I think it was, I guess the 3 I picked were a bit more nostalgic with me as well as sort of loving them, so that sort of swayed the vote. What are your ones?
Well, I'll crack straight on, and all 3 of these I've watched within the last 2 weeks. So that's probably why they stand out more, because they're instant ones that now I'm watching as well. I mean, one of them I didn't watch with my kids, but we'll come on to that. So my first one, Elf. I mean, it's hilarious. Like
it is.
It was probably one of the first films I remember seeing with Will Ferrell in. I think I can't remember even what year this was now, but I think this was prior to kind of Anchorman and things like that.
Yeah, I think it's early 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe 2003, maybe something like that. I'm guessing, but just the whole story of Buddy the Elf and, you know, him having this estranged father who doesn't know about him, and then he's going back into that. There's just so many things, like when he's in the supermarket, or it's not a supermarket, when he's in like that big department store, and they tell him that Santa's coming the next day, and he gets so excited, and then when he sees Santa, he's like, "You're not Santa," and then he rips it. Like it's just stupid funny.
It's one of the, I must admit, it's one of the few I'm really hit or miss with Will Ferrell. Like, and he's human. There's some things I absolutely love, like Anchorman. I absolutely love, and I cry we laughed at watching that film still. Some other things just don't hit the mark for me, but I think
I
Elf
agree.
definitely it's I think it's fantastic.
And the kids absolutely loved it. Like, there was nothing in it that, like I said to you before, there's certain films like Gremlins. If I showed them that, I mean, maybe my son would be okay, but my daughter would be absolutely
No. See, I think he's far too young. It's a bit intense. I would say.
Yeah. Like Gizmo's great, but
Yeah, all the Gizmo bits. It was Elf is 2003. I've just quickly looked up, so you're spot on.
Great guess.
With that.
Yeah. So what we got here? Blue Sonic. Elf is my missus's favourite Christmas movie, so good on her. Amazing movie. Isla says my kids love it when Jack in the Box scene. And where he attacks Santa, yeah. It's just that when he attacks Santa. But like I say, I absolutely loved it. The kids loved it. And it's still one that I don't feel like it's not one of them ones where it's dated anymore. I still feel like it's really, you can watch it. We watch that most years, I think.
Yeah.
Again, not in any particular order, and I know someone mentioned this earlier. This for me is like me and my sister watch this every Christmas. Like from when it came out. Michael Caine as Scrooge, brilliant.
He's fantastic.
Generally, isn't he? And he's got the Muppets in. Like Kermit was, what was Kermit's name in it? It doesn't really matter, but it was just, I don't know. Watching that, funnily enough, the other day with my kids, they weren't that interested. They were only interested when Kermit was on the screen.
Yeah.
And my son actually said, that's like the one Matt's got. Because do you remember I'm sure you sent him a video, because you've got a Kermit, haven't you? A Kermit toy somewhere. This is live, exclusive. You're about to see Bob Cratchit. Thank you, Mark. There's Kermit.
I have got my little Kermit.
Yeah.
He's probably older than the film.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's just a really good Christmas film, I think. And again, like it's funny that you've got Scrooged and I've got a film that's got a version of Scrooge in it, but just an all right. For me, it's one that kind of one from my childhood that I'll want my kids to want to see that. Maybe
it's one that I've only seen in recent years. I never watched it sort of earlier in life. I only watched it again, probably from having kids and it being on TV and watching it. But I absolutely love the Muppets. The one for the Muppet film for me, and I never remember what film it is. I think it's maybe Muppets Take Manhattan or something. It's one of the quite earlier ones.
Right.
And there's this scene where Kermit is riding a bike, and it blows my mind how they made Kermit ride a bike. Because it's not CGI or anything, but you see his little legs like going around on the pedals.
Yeah.
Think, how'd you do that? Amazing.
Wise, mate.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Magic.
So the third one, I mean, it shouldn't even be in there.
Is this a controversial?
Yeah. It shouldn't be in there. It's not a well thought of film. It's relatively new. I think it only probably came out last year, maybe, or the year before. But I watched it the other day, and it was one of them ones where I thought, do you know what? It was pretty funny in places. It's called Office Christmas Party.
I've never heard of that film before.
It's brilliant, mate. And the cast is really good. It's got Jennifer Aniston in it. It's got, I'll be able to read all their names on here. Jason Bateman. And TJ Miller is in it. If you know TJ Miller is from Deadpool. Yeah. And there's so many other characters, actually. The guy who is, oh God, what is his name? Was in WandaVision. He was one of the agents, like, who was researching the Asian dude.
Yeah.
He's in it.
He was in Ant-Man as well, wasn't
yes. He? What was his name? Someone tell me his name who's in the chat. But basically, it's Jennifer Aniston and TJ Miller. They're siblings. They're both in business and own certain branches. And his branch isn't performing because he just wants to kind of treat all the staff and everything. And he basically throws this massive Christmas party for the office, which he shouldn't have done. It's absolutely mental. Like, you'd watch it and go, God, I wish my work would do something like that. But just from looking at the pictures, you can see it's absolute
Ends
chaos.
in carnage.
There's prostitutes in it. It's a real family Christmas film.
Great.
But I
Did
watched
the
it
kids
the other day.
like it when they were
Well,
watching
my eldest wasn't too keen. My youngest loved it.
it?
Yeah. But yeah, it was funny. It was kind of one of them ones where you haven't really got to concentrate. Do you know what I mean? It's one where it's
Yeah.
not too involved. It's quite an easy to follow one, and yeah, it was all right. And it had Christmas in the title, so I thought, seeing as I've watched it
Easy
recently,
win.
easy winning. So yeah, I mean, again, like I say, I wouldn't say they're necessarily my top 3, but 2 of them definitely were in there. So yeah, so anyone in the chat, have you got any other favourites in there? Were there any close ones, Matt? That weren't
Probably
in there?
probably National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So that was one that I watched constantly when I was younger, having that on video, and just so many scenes in that, like the cat electrocuting itself, and you know, oh God, what's his brother's name? What's his relative's name? The one when they're sort of pumping all the sewage in. Randy, isn't it? Is it Randy?
Yeah, I think it's Randy.
Pumping all the sewage into there and it explodes and all that sort of stuff. I absolutely adored that film when I was younger. Definitely.
So Shane has said Noel with Anna Kendrick is pretty good.
I think I saw that fairly recently. Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Eddie. Yes. Thanks, Chris. He's Eddie. He's brother-in-law, isn't it?
Christmas Chronicles, instant Christmas classic.
Never seen them.
Never seen them, I don't think. No. Well, I get, you know what? There's so many that you'd probably watch them and go, oh no, actually, I do remember this.
There was sorry, Christmas Chronicles. Isn't that Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell? Christmas Chronicles. I think we watched that last year, and there's 2 of them now. Yeah, right. I think that's pretty good. There you go.
Well, there you go. That is our Christmas flicks. But you know what it's time for now? It's quite a nice follow-on, actually, isn't it?
I think it is.
Time for
question mark.
Hello, gents. Thank you for having me back on again. It's Christmas, so my question has a Christmas theme to it. And I was wondering, what is your favourite Christmas special well, it's going to be TV shows, really. So what is your favourite Christmas episode of a TV show? Thank you for having me on. Merry Christmas, you both.
Question mark.
Love that.
Great question. When I heard this question, I sort of groaned and thought, "Oh God!"
I hope he's still watching.
Yeah, please still watching. But not because it was a bad question. Not all because it was a bad question. More because it's a really good question that makes you think. With like, for me personally, with the Christmas movies, there are so many like iconic movies that I spent more time probably when I was younger just watching videos again and again and again than I did necessarily TV. I think, you know, in that sense, and the Christmas specials for me, probably growing up, you know, probably like EastEnders or something like that. There weren't a great deal that would stick in my head and think, yeah, that I'm going to watch that for years to come.
What about that year with Phil and Grant?
That's it. Still watch it. But then, having thought about it, there's one that just sprang to mind. I thought, of course, that's the one. I love that. But I want you to go first. I'm intrigued to
I'll go first. And if it's the same one, I'm just going to throw it up here. If it's the same one, because there's technically 2 versions of this. Office. There is no other answer. So the UK Office, because there is the American one as well, which is very funny.
Yeah.
But the UK Office, it kind of on so many levels. Did you watch The Office? Was you a fan?
I've watched bits of it. Like,
yeah,
I didn't consistently watch it. I think I saw the Christmas special. And I watched episodes here and there, but I didn't follow it. But everything I did watch, I absolutely loved. So it's one of those ones that I probably will do again.
The Christmas special, it was like the culmination of so many storylines all coming to an end, sort of
Yeah.
thing. And you had David Brent had this really nice date for the Christmas do. Then there was the bit where Chris Finch took the piss out of his date at the end, and usually he'd like palm it off a little bit and take it as it, like he'd always take the jokes off of Chris Finch, who's an arsehole.
Yeah.
And he actually said to him on this one time, like he's laughing about it, and he goes, "Do you know what, Chris? Fuck off." And it was brilliant because you were like, "Oh, he's finally told him." Like
He's done it.
usually
Yeah.
he'll kind of laugh along with him and be the joke of like the butt of the joke. Then you obviously had the main thing, which was the love interest between Tim and Dawn. And Dawn
Yeah.
had gone off with her fiance and left the party. Then she opened the present up, and then she came back, and then
I think I remember that bit. Yeah.
and
definitely.
you had Yazoo, Only You playing on the DJ set, which I think that was probably the first time I'd ever heard that song, and it's like
Yeah.
stuck with me since. It's
Great
like one of
song.
my all-time favorite songs now.
Yeah.
So easy answer for me. Mark will know that. Probably the closest one I had to it, and I doubt because I'm pretty sure you're not a fan, would have probably been the Friends Christmas special with the Holiday Armadillo.
No.
So where Ross was basically trying to get a Santa outfit, couldn't find one anywhere, and the only outfit he could get was an armadillo outfit. So he pretended that there was this character from Jewish, like Hanukkah or whatever, called the Holiday Armadillo. It's very funny episode, but yeah, nowhere near the Office one.
Wow. So my one has
Yeah.
been mentioned in the comments so far, which is Bottom, which is a series that I absolutely loved. Like,
Yeah.
you know, 14 years of age, watching that, just them being so rude, being, you know, as they are. But I think, you know, for me as a series, even though like on the surface you've got the slapstick and like the absolute brutality of it, they absolutely love each other. Like they're such good friends that it appears they hate each other. They're such good friends. And I actually watched the Bottom Christmas special before this show because it'd been so long since I'd seen it, and I wanted to see it again. And it's just amazing. Like the bits where Rick is like chopping up the turkey with this cleaver and chops his thumb off, or no, he chops his finger off, and it's just spraying with blood, and then sort of like Eddie staples it on, and there's all that stuff. But then it ends with a baby's dropped on the doorstep, and then so Richie convinces himself that he's basically Mary, and he's got this tea towel coincidentally over his head, and like the three Spud Gun and Hedgehog and Eddie are there. They've got their Christmas hats on, so it's like, oh my god, you're the Three Kings, and they give the baby gifts, and like one of them's got a box of chocolates. It's like Terry's All Gold or something, and then like one of them has a Frankenstein mask, and then one of them has his new aftershave he got for Christmas called Grr. So Rich said, "Oh my god, it's it's gold Frankenstein and Grr. You know, this is really happening," and it's just that, exactly.
Yeah.
It is just hilarious. I absolutely love it.
Amazing. I mean, Bottom, man. I remember my dad letting me watch that when I was pretty young.
Yeah.
And again, it was just hilarious. It was like slapstick violence, but it was so funny. Like I would be wetting myself laughing at that. I couldn't imagine letting my boy watching that now. I mean, he was 5. I'm pretty sure I wasn't 5.
No, definitely not.
But at the same time, I just think now it's you don't get things like that anymore, do you?
I weirdly, and sound like, you know, we sound like a couple of old men when you say something like that. But that's exactly what I thought. Watching it, you don't get like a comedy show like that on television. And I don't know whether it's because the TV networks play it safe and like it's a bit more formulaic. But like that program is just mental. Like it's like, the friendship is the foundation of it, but everything else is just absolutely crazy, like extreme. I guess probably the closest thing, and that like I don't know if you agree, in terms of the comedy, probably the closest thing would be something like South Park in terms of the comedy, like the
Yeah.
extreme sort of side of it in ways is similar, but it, obviously Bottom's a more of a live action thing. So
Yeah. Well, we've got
exactly.
some other ones thrown into the mix here. Let me just quickly go through.
Oh God,
some ones we've got.
Emma's just said one that's I can't believe I didn't think of that, which is the Father Ted Christmas special.
Oh, right. So she said Ian, her other half, said that. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Ian
Exactly,
said,
all the
"Father
priests
Ted,
in the women's underwear section. It's hilarious. Yeah,
Christmas
and
special
they
where they're stuck in the women's underwear section in the department store." Yeah.
amazing. I love Father Ted.
We've also got on there. What other one did I see? Only Fools. Yeah, Chris from Off My Shelves. Only Fools and Horses specials are great. When I grew up, I watched them to death and love.
Controversially,
there we go.
Only Fools and Horses is one of those ones that I've dipped in and out, or I've seen when it's on television.
Yeah.
But like when
you
they
haven't
did
watched them religiously.
No, and when they did that Batman and Robin thing and that, it just didn't
Oh,
gel
see, I did find that
with
funny.
me. Things like that. So no.
I think it was my nan and granddad used to watch it all the time, and I know even my wife's other half. My wife's other half. My wife.
Wow.
My wife's grandparents. Normal for Norfolk. Her grandparents used to watch it all the time. I remember we bought them like the massive box set for Christmas one year because her granddad absolutely loved it. And you just, like you say, you just see episodes all the time. Just in passing. They're still on gold now all the time.
Yeah.
What other one have we got here? Blue Sonic, Vicar of Dibley.
I never really watched it, so I can't really comment on that. I love Dawn French. She's amazing comedian, but never really watched it.
Pleased to see that Mark knew I'd say The Office, so cheers for that, Mark. We've got someone else in the house. Triple G, Pete's here. How you doing, Pete? Good to see you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
is that all of them? Steptoe, son.
Never watched it in my life.
No, I've never seen any of them. And Triple G as well also says Father Ted.
Father Ted.
So
definitely.
Mark, thank you for Mark. If you're here, what's yours? Exactly. I think he's will probably be The Office as well. If I know him like I think I do, it should be The Office. Gavin and Stacey, I saw Emma said that, and we've also got Andrew saying that as well.
I've never seen an episode of Gavin and Stacey.
Come on,
ever.
Matt. Come on, Matt.
Yeah.
But we're both from Essex, and we've both moved to a foreign place.
I had a friend, or have a friend, who is from Essex, who met a girl from Wales and moved there. So it's like a real life.
You told me about that.
James and Sarah, they're called. No, so it's obviously not the same, but same story. Yeah.
So if anything, you've already seen it.
I've seen it in real life. All right, I don't need to watch the TV show.
You weren't James's best friend, were you?
No.
Good, because otherwise that'd make you Smithy.
No,
anyway,
Smithy.
Thanks for your question, Mark. Throw in your favourite TV Christmas special when you can. We'll give it a shout out. But yeah, we'll move on. Now this is something you brought up and said, have a think. What was your favourite present, or one of your favourites? Let's say.
Yeah.
It can't just be your favourite because listen,
we've had so many. The age we're at,
we're combined. We're nearly 80. 80 years between us Christmases, so there's a lot of gifts to choose from. But there was one that instantly came to my mind. Oops, not that one. We've already done that.
No, we've done that. Put that to bed.
Santa gave me chlamydia.
Jesus, is that your favourite?
It was a lovely gift. He is the gift that keeps on giving. No. Actually, you tell me yours first.
Mine, the one that just as soon as I thought of the question, I thought, yes, that's got to be it. And to be honest, it's something that if someone gave me this gift now, I'd probably be completely made up as well about it, which was I call it the AT-AT. Some people call it AT-AT. I don't know what the correct one is, even though I'm a big Star Wars fan. But this,
Like
at the time,
looks like a accountancy qualification.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. I loved it. Like the being little and getting something like that. Firstly, I love Star Wars, so getting something that you saw in Empire Strikes Back, and just the size of the thing. Like, but again, being little, it was sort of about this big, and those little turrets on the front went in and out and lit up, and yeah, just absolutely blew my mind.
How much do you reckon one of these is worth now?
400 quid, I don't know.
Really?
Like that.
What? And you have
a vintage one? I've never since I had one as a kid, and then when I became a teenager, got rid of all my Star Wars. So that was the last time I ever had one. But yeah, I've seen them in the past. Seen them at like Comic Con-ish sort of things, for about 50 quid in a little bit of a bad state or whatever.
Mm.
But yeah, you can get newer ones as well. And they've recently Lego have done an AT-AT, and it's something ridiculous. It's like 10,000 pieces or whatever, and it's huge. So you can still get equivalents.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things. What am I going to do with it? I look at things like that, and think, oh, that'd be awesome, and I think, what am I going to do with it?
Yeah, so. But I mean, you would. Sorry, we've just had a fun fact come in here.
Hold up.
This is going to blow Matt's mind. Hold on just one New York minute.
Hold up.
Emma, her other half, Ian, his relative, was a puppeteer for the character Max Rebo. Was that Rebo?
Max Rebo. The Max Rebo band.
Rebo.
No, the Blue Elephant. You remember in the... Oh, come on, James. In the Cantina bar...
Oh, yeah, another Cantina bar, yeah.
Yeah, so they're in the things playing the flute, and there's a blue elephant who's playing like this circular keyboard thing. That's Max Rebo, because it's the Max Rebo band that plays.
Ian, if you're listening, we want him on the show. Let's get him on.
Exactly. In character, though. He's got to be in character.
I mean, there you go.
Incredible.
Was there? Sorry, we just got another couple of things to throw into the mix here. Shayna said my favourite childhood Christmas present was the Castle Grayskull playset with Mike. I mean, from
incredible, absolutely incredible.
He-Man, isn't it?
I loved He-Man and Masters in the Universe. Had the figures, never had a Castle Grayskull. I loved the Battle Cat though. The Battle Cat was awesome. I wish I still had that. That was a toy I wish I kept. And Triple G. Talking about mask toys are the greatest things ever, and I love the cartoon.
So we're not talking Jim. We're not talking Jim
M.A.S.K mask, which they were vehicles that changed into other things,
like Transformers.
No, not quite, because that people still drove the car, but then the car would change into like a aeroplane, for example. And they were a bit like. I guess the equivalent could be like, like the Thunderbirds, like there's some bad guys and the Thunderbirds come and like sort the bad guys out. Mask were a bit like that. They were like this team that something dodgy was happening and they came in and they had all these cool vehicles and sorted it out. But they were just such cool things. I did not recently, in about probably more than 5 years ago, did start buying mask stuff, and it's really hard to get a hold of in decent condition. I love them.
So there's a bit of value on that then.
Yeah, got rid of them all now though. But I love that series. Yeah.
What's Mark saying? The command compound from Jurassic Park. Talked about it for months before Christmas opened it. It took me an hour to set up. Never heard of it again.
I imagine that Mark's sitting there and it's still next to him. From that Christmas, he's
just
not touched it since.
Brilliant.
Just bought the green bike. So we're just going to talk about Mars now.
This is still from Mars,
bike, which if it's the same one I was thinking, it's this green motorbike, and then on the back flipped up, and then it turns into a helicopter. Awesome.
Blow your mind,
mate. That's
mate. You could probably make one of them Excuse me, Corona.
not Corona.
Chris, I always remember fondly getting the Master System with Alex Kidd built in and Sonic. My first console. I was/am poor, so when others were getting a Mega Drive, I was always a console behind. Hey, do you know what?
Nothing wrong with that.
There was always people at school that, even for me, and my first console was a NES, but there would have been people probably already getting the SNES, to be fair.
My second choice.
You always had one, didn't you?
Exactly. My second choice was when I got the NES, and I got the Turtles pack, which had the Turtles game in it.
Yeah.
That was probably my second one. So that was a incredible Christmas receiving that.
And you see, this is the thing. When I was thinking about my favourites, you know, the NES and the SNES were both Christmas presents. They would have been Christmas or birthday. My birthday's only 2 weeks after, so it's hard to remember.
That's it. James is flexing now. He got the NES for Christmas, then the next month he got the SNES because he rolls like that. Yeah,
that's how I roll. There's no chance. But the one that stood out for me, and I don't know why, and I was talking to the missus about it earlier. It's going to sound really lame now that I show it, but I remember getting this, and it still sticks in my mind now in a weird way. Stretch Armstrong.
Never had one.
It was like I had this kind of, and this is no reflection on my childhood, but it was like I had this best friend. Like it was really weird. Girls obviously had like dollies or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that was probably, and it was funny, like you could literally stretch it, but I do remember him splitting under the armpit, and then all this gunk stuff.
Did he have goo? Yeah, in it, I imagine.
Yeah, it ruined it. But
he's still got the scars on his flesh from the gunk that came out of it.
There you go, Shane. Mine split, goo leaked. There you go. So it was so cool. Like, I don't know why, because realistically, it's not that great now when I look at it in hindsight.
How many times can you stretch it and still,
Oh, you can stretch it. I lasted for ages, but eventually it did split. Shane, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Got Batman one now though, because I'm all grown up. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Nothing wrong with that. But
is the Batman one though, Shane? Is the Batman one your best friend, like Stretch was to James? That's the question, isn't it?
I must have been 7 or 8, I reckon, when I got this. I can't remember exactly. My 7 or 8. He used to sleep in my bed. Yeah, is that weird?
Yeah. Did you stretch his arms around your neck so you sort of,
No, his legs.
Triple G, can I say, is just knocking out in the park with basically my childhood at the moment.
Get Zoids.
A room. We do need to get a room and talk about 80s toys. Zoids, which you probably don't remember, I would guess, which were, I'm going to describe them and they can sound absolutely terrible, but they were like these robots that you assembled and you wound them up and their legs went, like that sort of thing. But they were dinosaurs as well. They were sort of like robot dinosaurs. And they were so cool. And they had this little gold man. Like in the dinosaur's head was like the cockpit thing. And you lift it up and this little gold man sat in it. Amazing.
Well, there you go. I love that. Ian, you're saying a lot and you're getting Emma to do it all. Get on. Then we will have 13 viewers. He lost too many action men from throwing them out the window with a parachute, aka plastic bag.
Yeah.
Now that's quite funny, that is, because me and Adam Wheeler, who lived next door to each other, Adam, if you're watching, listening, the creator, writer of the Secret Protectors comic book, me and him used to be out the front and we'd set out all the bases and all that with the action men, and we would do all that and throw them off the top over onto the thing. Yeah, that did used to break all the time.
I love action men as well.
Loved an action man, yeah.
I had the training tower. I don't know if you remember the training tower, which was this orange tower, and it had a zip line on it. So like you connected the zip line,
that's it,
and so they could go down. Yeah, so cool.
Shane, afraid to touch it in case it's. Oh, we're talking about Batman. That's fine. It's fine. Chris from Off My Shelves. I stretched mine too and goo leaked. I apologise for my immaturity. Mark, did you kiss him goodnight? 100%. And now, he's joined us, bless him, Robbie Robertson, our good friend. Let's give Robbie a shout out as well, Matt, because
Right, we need to
Christmas.
give Robbie it's Christmas, but
He's saying
Robbie,
it's July.
he does a podcast called Out of the Blank, which do check out. It's fantastic. Yeah, so many amazing guests, and has such a prolific output. Like every day, almost he's putting stuff out. However, we do these things. We put out our podcasts and do our bits and pieces and that. Robbie has taken it a step further and actually made a film. Now it's an hour and 40 minutes, like a proper film.
We've watched
it. It's amazing. Do check it out. It's on YouTube. If you follow Out of the Blanket, you'll find it there. And we are privileged that he invited us to be part of it. So
we're in it. We're in it.
So yeah.
However,
movie stars.
However, Matt will never get any credit for it because
he spelled my name wrong. But I've got an awkward surname, so it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
We still love you, Robbie. What about us Jewish folk? Well, we talked about the holiday armadillo, so there you go. Happy Hanukkah. What else have we got here? Triple G. How about
six? He's lost me now. I've no idea what they are.
I mean, unless he's talking about secateurs, which I do know. Glove monsters were great.
No idea.
Ryan's here. Hey, Ryan. The man, the myth, the legend of the question mark theme tune is in the house. Ryan, thank you for joining us. Tamagotchis. Well, funnily enough,
Never had one.
But I never actually had one, but my sister had several.
You can still get them as well. I saw an advert from the other day. No, relaunched.
I heard that the director of the Out of the Blank movie found someone who could put his
brain in a Tamagotchi.
Into a Tamagotchi.
Amazing.
Amazing. Well, there you go. That is our favourite gifts from. I mean, we've talked mainly about other people's, but it's fine. We've talked about masks, so great.
We can do an episode with Triple J purely dedicated to mask. I think James will absolutely love that.
Yeah, good. Well, it leads us on to our. I'll have to do a bit of research. It leads us on to. I'll just talk about Jim Carrey's film, The Mask.
The Mask. Oh no! I just peeked too early.
Spoiler alert! You spoiler alerted that, didn't you? Well, there you go. That's Christmas board. We're now going to be talking about the perfect gift. So, if we could buy each other any gifts, because to be fair, I've got Matt a present for Christmas. Someone in this room who is here now knows what I've got you.
Really?
Right? So no spoiler alerts because I haven't given it to him yet.
But the whole idea of this section was to think of this is like not fancy gift giving because then mine aren't that amazing. But like just the things that we've seen that I thought I know who'd like that. So the first one, which you've already bloody seen, so who cares?
Sorry, can I just throw this up there?
He knows.
He knows. There you go. Oh. Cheers, Chris.
So we've talked a lot about the PS5 in the past year. Lots and lots. Because you've got one. And people still can't. Can you believe, like, just going slightly off topic, people still can't buy PS5s or Xbox Series X's. How is that a thing? Like a year later, how is that?
I don't understand. I don't understand.
But when the PS5, particularly, there was a lot of controversy about how awful it looked. And it's like I've seen it in the flesh now. It's about 6 foot tall, isn't it? It's huge. So to make it slightly better, and to a lot of third-party companies were making these. Sony has released covers for it.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to change your PS5 just to look a little bit more more respectable or not. You know, I like the black one. I think the black one looks fantastic. Or you could go something a little bit leirier, as you can see on the screen, blue or purple.
The interesting thing here is I've actually grown to not mind the white.
Really?
And the other thing is, it obviously comes with a white controller, but I bought my son the black controller.
Yeah.
So now, if I was to get the black cover, which I would have probably done, now it would mean the white controller
Wouldn't match.
would match.
But is that a big deal? You know,
No,
I've got the Series X. It's black and it came with a black controller, but I got a blue controller as the second one. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Robbie from Out of the Blink has just made a good point here.
And I've got a Space Jam controller.
That is cool. If you're still waiting on a new console, just move on. She's gone.
Yeah.
Which I'd probably agree with. Yeah. I'm also a little bit. I don't want to break it.
I think they just clip on and off, though, don't they? It's
I'd be concerned that I'd break it.
Plus, as well, that thing's probably stronger than your car, if I'm honest. The size of it.
You also know how mine is set up on my unit. So I've got like this big IKEA unit where there's a slot for your console, which it just about fits in.
Yeah.
Like I can't even put the stand on it underneath, which you're supposed to do to lift it off. Mine is literally like wedged in, so you can't even see it anyway. All you can see is the black middle. Yeah. So, to be honest, if I had it on display, like on say like your unit in your house, where it's like a nice, just a kind of where you put things on top of it, then maybe
you'll see on the picture as well that they've talking about like the matching controllers to match all of them. They brought out the relating color as well. So I'd have to get you both. Is the thing if I was buying
them controllers are like 50 odd quid as well.
Very expensive, aren't they?
What's your alternative?
The alternative, which I
think
I'm
not grateful.
This is the better one. So you know, imagine you go into a fancy dress party. Could happen around this time of year.
You're selling it, yeah.
Imagine you're cold, and you think, well, I want to look the part, but I want to keep warm. Okay. What you need is
really weird because
a reindeer balaclava. Like what that just like,
is that you modelling it?
Unfortunately, not.
Is it anyone in the room?
But my lounge is actually that sort of colour, so it could be me. Yeah, like what more do you want? I saw this thing, and I'll be honest, I googled like worst Christmas gifts ever, or like something along those sort of lines, and found
really
this. Unfortunately, though, I can't find where to buy it. Otherwise, that would be on its way to me right now because I think it's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, personally. Yeah. Anyone listening, basically, if you imagine a ski mask style balaclava, so just your eyes and mouth are showing, with brown with antlers and a red nose to make it look like a reindeer, it is incredible. Or horrific, as Isla just said. So, yeah, you know,
it's as well. That is the most festive gimp mask I've ever seen, and I've seen two. Well,
there we go. So
I want to know what the second one is.
You're warm, you're festive, and you can use it for your personal interests as well.
Well, do you know what's really weird, Matt? We've both got each other gifts that will keep the other warm, and that's just a little hint, okay? Because I will now share my lovely gifts for you.
Let me
Here we go. Right, the first one. Are you ready for this?
Go on, hit me.
Are you prepared?
Nice. So I have seen these. Yeah.
So this is like a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Essentially, but a Star Wars themed one. See, and it's because I know you. It's Star Wars.
I love the fact that these actually look like droids as well, because it's got the buttons on it. It does actually look like a droid, doesn't it?
And just for detail, it serves like 7 or 8 people. So
really,
pretty nice size. Yeah.
See, I've not seen one of these in person. But always imagined it quite small. Like looking at the pictures,
no, it's quite a nice size. got loads of different functions on it. For those again that are listening, yeah, this is a Star Wars themed pressure cooker, hot, like a slow cooker looking sort of thing, which looks
Yeah.
like a droid. Retails as well, I think, at about 80 to 90 quid. It's not actually
Wow, that's quite a lot
as
of money.
expensive as you think. Well, it's a lot of money for what it is, but
Yeah.
when you think it's Star Wars themed, and there's an element of kind of
I'd
value
want
to
it to
just
do more droid-like activities, I think, for that sort of money.
feed you.
Yeah, talk to me.
Um,
Just talk to me. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Have a chat while it's cooking.
would you like that for Christmas?
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think
I
I'd like
have my Star Wars related stuff that I do have in the kitchen
it.
is I have a tin which contains chocolate biscuits most of the time, and it says Wookiees cookies on the front of it. It's got Chewbacca on it. And
Yeah.
also, which I absolutely love and always panic that I'm going to break them, I have a bowl set, which is a shiny gold C-3PO bowl and a blue and white R2-D2 bowl, which are lovely. So, yeah, there you go. So that'd fit right in. Awesome.
That'd fit quite nicely. I think it would fit in your kitchen as well.
Yeah.
What's Emma saying here? Again, Ian, get on board, mate. Ian is saying that
Set up your own
good,
Facebook account.
but it's not the droid I'm looking for. Set up your own Facebook account, or get on YouTube, for God's sake, woman. Anyway, so yeah, that's
Nice.
kind of my
like that.
thinking. So my second one, I mean, that would keep you warm because it'll give you warm food. But my second one, I was really thinking hard of what can I get Matt? What would Matt really love? I was thinking, something to keep him warm. Did you ever watch Carl Pilkington and An Idiot Abroad?
I did, yeah.
All of them, or?
I think so, but it's been a while, so
Yeah.
refresh my memory.
He went away at one point, and I mean, I'm not saying you look like Carl, but there's some similarities there. You're not an idiot. He had a hair transplant.
Bald man. I remember that.
He had a hair transplant.
I remember that. Yes.
I can't remember where it was, but it's
it was an Asian country somewhere,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah. So I'm going to pay for you to go to Asia and get one of these. Look at him though, and I remember how good he felt as well.
Looks amazing, doesn't
he? I remember him when he had that kind of the bottom left that you see there, and it was just like. Yeah. It was a very different thing, and it was like something they glued onto your head.
Yeah, and they shaved the top and then glue it on, and it lasts for quite a while, I think, doesn't it?
But not just that. It wasn't just like, oh, here's a wig and we're sticking it on your head. It was like it followed your actual where your hairline.
Yeah, and they trim it, don't they, to make it look right?
Yeah, mate. I mean, we still haven't posted it, have we? The picture of you with your long hair from your youth.
No, we need to.
We need to do that. But I think that he'd like that.
Yeah, that is an amazing gift as well. Yeah, you've done really well on the gift. So I feel I probably didn't take it seriously enough, if I'm honest. But,
well, look at this. Genius. Please do this, Matt. Yeah. I don't actually think it's that expensive because what I started looking into for you was Belgravia, but that is quite an expensive thing. And
that sounds expensive to start with, that sort of place,
London and all that rubbish.
If they do any in sort of Pitsea or somewhere like that, that's probably or Basildon, probably more of an economical one.
Exactly. So I mean, the other things that I thought of for you, a proper lightsaber.
Yeah.
But I know you would want to make that.
Well, it was that whole thing when I was going to go to Florida before the world went wrong. I was going to go and in the sort of, I can't think what the Star Wars area is called, but you can actually build your own lightsaber and you pick your crystal and the color and all of that stuff. Amazing. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Yeah.
But there you go. That's Christmas sorted.
That is. We're all done really, aren't we? In terms of Christmas now.
Yeah,
we got entertainment, we got presents.
Yeah,
amazing.
We have indeed. Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's joined us. We've obviously had a fair few weeks off, so it's nice to see so many of you reconnect with us after 4 or 5 weeks. We'll be back soon. for the next episode in series 9 we're in now. God,
Yeah.
so close. Series 10, my word. And like
And then
Robbie,
we'll quit.
well,
So,
like
you know.
Robbie, when we get to episode 100, we're then going to make a we're not going to make a movie, we're going to make a 7-part documentary.
Yeah, like I don't know, one of those long ones that they have on HBO, sort of an hour a piece, something like that. It'd be
Like
good.
that Beatles one you're watching at the moment, or whatever it is.
God, yeah, 3 hours a episode.
Join us. Yeah. But yeah, thank you. You know where to find us. We haven't been as active on Instagram and social media of late, but we'll get back to it. This video, Matt will work his magic, and there'll be clips. Excuse me, going out. Plug in this, plug in Robbie, plug in Out of the Blank, plug in whoever, Matt, Mark, whoever. Off my shelves. You know, you're all here. Thank you for joining us. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Matt, anything from you?
No. What he said.
What he said.
Yeah, well, what he said is it's been amazing. It's felt like a party tonight, and you know we've enjoyed the time off, but equally we've you know so we recorded a little bit for Robbie for his film in the time that we've been off, and I think certainly for myself it gave me that taste of, oh God, I've missed this, I really missed this. So yeah, it's great to, as James said, connect with everyone, and yeah, you haven't got a long wait, because next week there'll be another one and we'll be back.
Exactly. We'll be
So,
back.
yeah.
So until then, we'll see you soon.
I hope you enjoyed that episode as much as we did. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our future episodes.
Yeah, and you can also follow us on all social media, so you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and TikTok.